Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Gardening Mindfully. I am thrilled and excited to still be in Tokyo, Japan, and enjoying everything that this beautiful country has to offer. It has been cold and wet the last few days, but I took time out in between raindrops to see what is blooming this time of the year, which is late winter, early spring 2025. In Japan, the blooming season begins in February. It can be either plum, peach, or cherry blossoms, and sometimes it's difficult to tell the difference, even when looking at them side by side. Prunus mume, or plum trees, begins blooming first, heralding the arrival of spring. These ornamental plums blooms from February to March. Sakura or cherry trees blooms from March to April and represents spring in Japan. Again, these are all ornamental plants as they do not bear fruit. There are several ways to tell the difference between plum and cherry blossoms, but the easiest way I find is by looking at the bark of the tree or the blossoms themselves. Prunus mume or plum trees have a darker bark than sakuras, and the flower petals are more oval shaped with a round tip. Sakuras or cherry trees have a light gray bark with horizontal lines. The blossoms are heart shaped and they have a small split at the end of each petal. Another quick fun fact is that Prunus mume or plum blossoms have a fragrance that's very similar to jasmine, whereas cherry blossoms are not fragrant at all. The next plant that is blooming and is showing out in early March in Tokyo, Japan are camellias. These are Camellia japonicas or Japanese camellia, which we call camellia in the US. They are native to China and Japan and are widely grown throughout the southern US and does well in my Zone 8A garden. I too have a few, but they are very slow growing plants. As I mentioned earlier, these are Camellia japonicas, which is different from Camellia sasanquas. Camellia japonicas flowers between January and March, whereas Camellia sasanquas are early bloomers, which means they bloom in the late fall to early winter. Camellias are durable evergreen perennials that will make an excellent addition to your garden for its year-round beauty and low maintenance care. They're also long-lived plants and will last for generations to come. The next plant is Helleborus orientalis or hellebore that is commonly known as lentil rose. Hellebores are another favorite winter bloomer. They enjoy cool temperatures, shade, and rich, fertile soil. Hellebores does best in a woodland setting, but if they're in a location where they are happy, they will very easily and quickly reseed and multiply. Now, looking at these garden beds, I'm unable to tell whether they were intentionally planted here or if they have reseeded and multiplied over time. Given the fact that this garden is in metropolitan Tokyo between tall buildings, I'm inclined to think that these hellebores were left to reseed and spread, and oh, what joy it is! I grow hellebores in containers due to lack of shade, but I also enjoy seeing their nodding blooms closer to eye level. Another plant that is looking oh so bright and graceful is Japanese forest grass or Hakanakola. This variety appears to be all gold. Japanese forest grass, as you can see here, is a colorful ground cover that is great for mass planting. It naturalizes well as the clumps tend to spread by rhizomes. Japanese forest grass enjoys shade, but for best color, it's important to choose a bright location with afternoon shade. Sprinkled among the hellebores and grasses are some early blooming daffodils, which is always a joy to see this time of the year. You will also notice that the grasses in the background that looks like brown sticks are pruned. That's because they are herbaceous plants, and it's important to prune off the old and dead foliage before the new leaves emerge in the spring. I know this plant as Chinese privet, and what I enjoy the most about seeing this plant is how it has been pruned to show the natural structure of the trunk and also the branches, and how the plant has been opened up to maximize air circulation. Not to be outdone are the containers. These containers has yellow and purple pansies along with ivy. However, in the center, we have a Chinese privet. These Chinese privets are limbed up or pruned. They give the planter a sense of height and airiness. So even though I love the colorful pansies at the base, I believe that the Chinese privet just elevates the containers to another level. Even pine trees are not left to grow on their own devices in Japan. They're all carefully pruned and sculpted and become statement pieces in gardens. This trip has been the experience of a lifetime for me, as I've enjoyed seeing plants that I can and do grow in my own garden. Thanks for watching, and please like and share the video and also subscribe to the channel. Bye for now, and I'll see you in the next video.